Okay, ready to go. First question is, any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Any at all? Looked after it, that's good. Thank you very much. We'll declare that closed, and I need a motion to move into closed. Councilor Reid and Councilor McHugh. Anybody opposed? Good. We'll move into closed. Thank you very much. We'll be back shortly. Thank you very much. And I'm going to call the meeting to order. And I'd like you, please stand for the Indigenous Land Acknowledgement Statement and the National Anthem. And I have to ask you to, thank you, sir. You knew what I was going to say. Take off your hat, but that's good. I'd sooner see your hair or a shiny head, so thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Find a chair. There's lots of chairs, always lots of chairs at the front. That's not new. There's something wrong with the front chairs, I know. But anyways, thank you very much for being here on such a nice day, beautiful day. And as I often say, we live in the best part of the world, and Quinte West is the best. So that's my statement. So thank you very much. Any council members have, Councilor Stedall first, coming this way. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So it's my pleasure to attend Quinte West Soccer Central event at Centennial Park this past Sunday, and I want to recognize everybody for the tremendous success that it was. It was great to see so many families and events that were out there, community members. We celebrated the excitement around FIFA World Cup, but I'd like to congratulate Kelly Scott, and he was our referee for the game, so there was a walking game, and I guess I represented members of council since the other council members didn't quite show. It was hot. Anyway, we did 20 minutes of walking, but it was a lot of fun. And we had the OPP there, members of the CFB Trenton, as well as we had Quinte West soccer staff. We had Steve Whitehead, Katie Whitehead, and Joe Petrella. So it was nice to see some of the members from the community as well as staff out representing us to enjoy that event. And also, I want to recognize the recent announcement from the Royal Canadian Legion yesterday, and that was with Branch 110, the new Seniors Active Living Centre, and the grant for $13,000, but the ability for them to apply every year for $55,000. Minister Cho was there, and he was talking to the mayor about the mayor being a teenager compared to him. It was a good event, and it was nice to see the money coming to the city. Thank you.
I agree, and any money that comes, we don't send any back. Thank you. Coming this way, Councillor Quinte, did you have something, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that years and years ago, like 2018, the city bought the old College Street school property, and it's so amazing to see that Hastings County's building is well underway. And then also later in tonight's meeting, through the bylaws, I just wanted to say thank you to Connect Quinte Affordable Housing Corporation, the Altogether Affordable Housing Corporation, Springale Development, Inc., and the New Development Group, along with the City of Quinte West, are going to complete a deal on the rest of that property. And so maybe in another 5 years or so, we might have a finished apartment building and a whole bunch of residential units on that property where people will be able to have a home to go to. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Armstrong, did you have a? Go ahead. You're good? Okay. Coming this way, Councillor Reid.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that Music in the Park, Frankfurt Tourist Park, begins Wednesday, July 8th with Heartland playing. The free concerts will continue every Wednesday evening through July and August, starting at 6 o'clock, and they play until 8 p.m. So bring a lawn chair and enjoy free music in the park.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill.
I believe Councillor Armstrong did want to say something. He was on mute, but I think he's ready.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like to thank the city for recognizing today as John Garrett Day throughout the city. As you know, John passed away not too long ago, and he's one of our favorite sons and well known throughout the country, and was one of our greatest ambassadors for Quinte West.
Thank you. Yes, you're absolutely right. Great family, and yes. Thank you. Councillor McHugh.
Thank you, Worship. 2 weeks from today, I hope to see all of you folks and thousands more helping us celebrate Canada Day at Centennial Park. And with that in mind, I'd like to ask Director Grimman if she could outline some of the programs that will be taking part that day.
Thank you, Director. Go ahead.
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor McHugh, for bringing up the exciting event that is coming up for Canada Day. Certainly a little bit of something for everybody. The special events team and the Canada Day Committee have been hard at work to prepare a really great lineup of activities for the day, starting as early as 7 a.m. if you'd like, with the popular pancake breakfast sponsored by the Trenton Lions Club. There is a car show from 9 to 3 p.m. that is along the beautiful shores here in Centennial Park. We've got the opening ceremonies that are always popular and rung in by the Trenton Citizens Band. We've got vendor villages and food trucks. We've got some interactive animal demonstrations, live music and entertainment throughout the day. We've got the Knights of Columbus and Quinte Transit hosting bingo and 50/50s. We've got bubble soccer, laser tag, inflatable hockey, and certainly a lot more live music performances and food to be had throughout the park, and certainly capping off the day with the popular fireworks display at dusk. So we certainly invite the community to come out and celebrate with us in Centennial Park that day.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for bringing a ray of sunshine to council today. Thank you. Okay, going this way. What's next? Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I had the pleasure of attending the Wooler Schoolhouse opening with members of council previous Saturday. It was very enjoyable, a ton of history to be learned there. I was able to get a tour of the upstairs. Amazing, from 1915 being opened, 1955 the last students left, and the Scouts Canada took over, but they were able to receive a very significant grant, and I look forward to it becoming the beating heart of the community again, as it was said.
And I did get there too, and the group that are refurbishing the building received a grant of $1 million. Yes, I'd like to hire that person. Yeah, fantastic to be able to achieve that goal. Now, of course, the people who are doing the rebuild and so on say that it's not enough. So I've also indicated to MP Chris Millette to keep the purse open. And if you get a chance, when it's open, visit it, because they've done a tremendous job. And I can tell you, I attended East Northumberland in 1956, and it opened in 1955. And two teachers who taught at the Wooler School came to teach at East Northumberland. One was Claude Thompson, and Claude taught every math course that was available, I'm sure. And he was a fantastic teacher and meticulous with his board work. He could wear a black suit all day and never get chalk on it. Yeah, fantastic ability to use the chalkboard and get the information out to guys like me. So, yeah, and Harry Ewing was also a teacher there, and his home farm is on the Warkworth Road, just north of Warkworth, headed towards Peterborough, Westbrook, and so on. And that's where his family originated right there. And he came to East Northumberland as a physics teacher, and he also later became the vice principal of the school. So those are the kinds of things that are relative to the build. And now, of course, we've got Laird Nelson and his brother Dale and other Wade and so on, who are also part and parcel of helping to rebuild that facility. And what you have to remember, yes, any donations they would appreciate, we would all appreciate, so don't hesitate to help out any way you can. It's a great, I believe, it's a great facility, and it's a great project. It's easy to tear anything down. That's easy. I can do that. But putting it back together and reshaping it and making it into something prestigious, important, and value, that's the part. So, okay. Anybody else have any? Councillor Katsoulis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to acknowledge two individuals from our Economic Development Committee. So first, Chris King received one of Loyalist's 2026 honorary diplomas. They're awarded to individuals who embody the college's core values through outstanding professional achievement and community leadership. As CEO of the Quinte Economic Development Commission, Chris has led regional efforts to attract new investments and support retention and growth across Belleville, Quinte West, and Brighton. So congratulations to Chris. Second is Suzanne Andrews. She's served our community for over 2 decades, belonging to a variety of boards, and most notably the CEO of the Quinte West Chamber of Commerce. I experienced her dedication firsthand while serving as Chamber Vice President. At that time, her leadership earned the Quinte West Chamber National Accreditation status. And this designation acknowledges the organization's high standards of excellence in governance, management, and service to its members, which is also reflective of Suzanne's career. So we want to wish Suzanne all the best in her retirement.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just tormented. Okay. I've already asked for disclosure of pecuniary. I need approval of the agenda. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Reid. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Need approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held on June the 3rd. That's be approved, and that further that the minutes of the closed session council meeting held on June the 3rd be approved. So I need a mover in a second. Councillor Roseblade and Councillor Allier. Okay. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, delegation. The first one is Pujan Sony Well Med Pharmacy will address Mayor Harrison and Council request approval of an early submission of a Quinte West Community Improvement Plan application for Council's consideration. Thank you very much for being here. Go on.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. So I'd just like to introduce myself first. I'm PJ, just like pajamas. I'm the pharmacist and the owner at WellMed Pharmacy on 284 Front Street here in Trenton. The reason why I'm here today is we are relocating and building a medical clinic just 100 meters down from where we are. I'm sure everybody knows, but where the Taishan Garden was, the Chinese restaurant, we purchased that building just this spring, and now the project is to convert that into a medical clinic facility. If this works, give me 1 second. All right, can anyone help with this?
Just bear with us, we can advance it manually.
Yep.
That's going backwards, that one. Oops.
Or is it just page 2? There you go.
There.
Okay. Yes. So we are building a medical clinic just 100 meters down from where we are, from our current location. We have proudly served the Trenton community for about over 5 years now, and we have had the great support, and now we are looking into expansion. So we are not the new investor, we are just the local investor trying to reinvest in the community. Our first investment was $250,000 to $300,000, and this is a bigger project that we are trying to get into. So doing the medical clinic, the idea is the total space of the clinic is 3,700 square feet, the total interior space of the current property, out of which we'll be utilizing about 2,500 square feet for the medical clinic and the dispensary purpose, and then we'll have an additional 1,200 to 1,300 left for any either future doctors or allied health services. I have been talking to DynaCare to bring in some blood work services, as the Life Labs in Trenton is extremely busy. So we are still in the conversation about that, but that has multiple potential, that additional space of 1,200 square feet. If more doctors want to join, they can join, or we can bring in the allied health services. The project that we have is going to have 7 exam rooms. I have the floor plan on the display. Ample waiting area for the patients. Immediate capacity of the physician will be 3 physicians. So this is not the first time we are doing this. I've done this in Belleville under the same banner, WellMed. And then currently we have 3 physicians. We opened last year. We have 3 physicians, and there are 2 more incoming. One is incoming next month, and the other one is coming in August. So we'll have 5 doctors in Belleville. We are trying to replicate the same in Trenton. And I know it has been one of the pressing issues of the city of Quinte West. The city has invested quite heavily. So doing this and turning into like a turnkey medical clinic, we'll be doing all the exam rooms, meal work, diagnostic systems, exam beds, everything will be ready. Doctors just need to bring in basically their computer. They can start practicing from day one, right? So that's what the idea is. So the interior scope of work will be a full interior demolition. Since it was a Chinese restaurant, obviously we need to make it a medical code and suitable for our use. So we'll be doing a full interior demolition. It'll be on-site pharmacy, so we'll be relocating our existing pharmacy to this new location, and then our future plan, as I said, is to use for the allied health services. This is the existing building, the exterior. Building has been originally constructed in 1990. There has been no major renovations since. And then, as you can see in the picture, it does need a significant remodeling. So this is our future project. These are the renderings of our new exterior, how it's going to look like. From the vestibule, as you see the main entrance, the right side will be that 2,500 square feet space, which will be utilized for the dispensary and the medical clinic. The left side is the additional 1,200 square feet that can be used for either additional physician or any allied health services. These are just a few more exterior renderings of the building. So I did speak to Louisa about the CIP grant as I heard about it, and The reason I'm here today is the next intake is mid-August, so we cannot submit the application prior to that, which obviously is a significant financial piece of puzzle for us. The investment in this project is going to be over 600 grand, so we would really appreciate that grant. And if we can submit that application early, we can get the exception. The construction is currently already underway. So either I stall the construction and delay the process of opening this clinic, or if I'm able to get the exception, we can submit the application and then hopefully qualify for that grant. And that's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Any, I guess, Councillor Stidall.
Just a question on the timeline, if the grant is
So our
given to-
target opening is mid to late August. Opening. So I can wait for, the application starts mid-August,
Right,
right? So,
okay.
and then there are no retroactive payments, so whatever payments I've made so far to the contractor are not eligible towards that grant.
Oh, it's anything going
Right.
for, okay.
And I can't hold the payments till mid-August for the contractor, otherwise he's not going to do any work.
Understood. No? Okay, yes.
Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I did want to make a motion, but and facilitate further conversation here to grant authorization for staff to accept PJ's application and go through the process of the commercial tourism CIP grant. So ahead of time for the fall intake, so that he may do his construction online and get these badly needed doctors in the community practicing.
Thank you.
Okay, any, you're making a motion, any? Second it. Okay, Councillor Elliott seconds. Any, Councillor Sharp?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you very much. This is a wonderful project. If I could, I just have two questions. With regard to, approval, if you receive that tonight, so there, in the construction, you're allowing space for 3 doctors. That would be part
We'll have
of.
7 exam rooms, yes.
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
And within that, is there an admin space? We do hear from physicians they need administrative support.
Yeah.
So that, okay, thank you. And I also, the idea of the Dynacare, if you're able to secure them, I think that would be great, because we are very, very busy in our lab downtown.
So my initial conversation with Dynacare went that they thought that Trenton itself is too small to have 2 blood work spaces, and I asked the lady to check out the Life Labs and try and book an appointment.
Okay, because, I mean, even if you try online weeks before, and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
But I do hope, and we are, over 45,000 people in Quinte West, so
Exactly.
hopefully you'll get some good data to support Dynacare. And also, it would be help for the pharmacy, because a lot of people are there getting their blood work and maybe need a little Advil. So I think this is very exciting, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Any other? Sorry, Councillor Quincy?
Mr. Mayor, just as far as financing this, so do I understand correctly that the application has already been submitted and we can't approve it because it's not the right date, or we've already run out of money in that budgeting, or?
No, it hasn't been submitted yet.
You have not submitted your
The next
application.
application intake is mid-August. Right now, there is no.
So you want to
application.
submit it now? So you still need to submit your application,
Correct.
so staff will still need to approve it first?
Correct.
So we can't actually approve anything until he has his application in, correct?
It's just to approve staff to accept and process the application as normal. He could still be rejected or approved. They'll
Yeah,
make
yeah.
their recommendation to council. It still has to come back for final approval of the
And just to follow that up, is there does staff have any issue or concerns with doing this in advance?
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Quinte. No, we've certainly been engaged, our staff have been engaged in the conversations. We had a spring intake, and unfortunately, we just hadn't been connected that early in the process. So that spring intake was started in January, wrapped up in March. Those projects are currently underway. As the gentleman mentioned, the next fall intake starts August 17th, which which is a little bit late, goes through to October 12th. So we are willing to, take council's direction if they do want us to advance an application and call together the review committee to receive and review this on a one-time basis.
Okay, thanks.
So just to follow up with staff on the timeline. So if council approves this, two questions actually. If council approves to have staff do this, does staff have the resources in order to expedite it with the time frame that's being requested? And is there enough money in our CIP fund for this application if approved?
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Stedel. I can answer some, but not all of that, because we don't have the application currently, so I'm not sure exactly what the ask is going to entail and which particular areas of the community improvement program he will be applying to. So certainly that's something we would have to review. There are funds still remaining in the budget to support applications, and that is why we were proceeding with the fall intake as scheduled in August. So that certainly shouldn't jeopardize that, and we will bring back any information to council as per the program requirements. I think that was all of your. The staffing resources, so yeah, we will work as best we can. We'll get the application out, pending council's approval tonight. We can get that out as early as tomorrow to the applicant, and then certainly the sooner we get it back to us, the sooner we can call together that review committee and go through the process to get that back as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Director. I think council should be very careful, because several applications may occur, and when we start pushing one, what do we do about the others? So I think that there's a process, and the process is available and it's in place, and I think that I appreciate your idea and the fact that we need doctors, but I also want to make sure that we follow a process so that council doesn't hang.
The reason I'm only here today, to be honest, is, I'm willing to wait till mid-August, okay, because it's a significant amount of money, and that's when I will for certainly qualify, because I know the CIP program, sort of what it covers and what we are doing in terms of the construction. So, as I said, I wouldn't mind if I have to, let's say, I would just have to delay this construction a little bit. Yeah.
Telling you we support you, but I just want to make sure. I'm going to ask CEO Angelo just to make a comment at this time.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I think it's prudent for council to pass the motion tonight. Once the applicant makes the application, staff will vet it through the normal process and channels that we use with the committee and bring that back, and that's the process we'll continue to use going forward.
We have a building that's for sale.
What's that?
I say the City of Quinte West has a building for sale.
Don't have any money now.
Did you look at it?
I don't have any money now.
Okay, well,
it's all gone.
I'm going to ask you to get in touch with the CAO, and he'll certainly give you the proper roads and so on to follow to look at that building that we have.
Okay.
And,
maybe in 5 years.
Okay. Well. Anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate your efforts, and we certainly look forward to what you're doing and accomplishing what you're asked.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Okay, all in favor, I need to vote. All in favor. Carried unanimously. Well, Councillor Armstrong, are you voting or no? Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, public input. Anybody in for public input? Come on up, give us your name, and tell us what you'd like to talk about. Come on up, come on.
Thank you, Your Worship. My name is Robert Worm, Shooter Street in Trenton Ward. I'm here to recommend that Council let its decision to maintain the site-specific wastewater surcharge for Prince Edward Estates subdivision stand. So before I get into my points, I do want to express my empathy for the residents of Youngs Cove. I spoke against the surcharge removal in March, but came to the meeting in May with the intention and action of listening to what that delegation had to say. And they are dealing with a frustrating situation regarding the overall state of their subdivision. Most importantly, the delegation explicitly alleged to this council that the developer and agents failed to disclose the site-specific wastewater surcharge at their points of sale. If that's true, it represents a real oversight and transparency. Also, according to the delegation, the subdivision agreement stipulates that the builder retains financial responsibility for operational shortfalls until full build-out. So it must be a continuing source of great frustration seeing that surcharge month after month. So when council directed the facilitation of a private meeting with residents, where I assume this was discussed further, one might have assumed that more information about that would come out. However, the staff report on tonight's agenda provides no new insight on this, bringing back essentially the same recommendation already rejected unanimously by council. From a public perspective, the only new information appears to be the allegations made about the developer. So why then would the broader community be expected to financially settle the financial differences when legal remedies exist for a dispute between homeowners and builders, regardless of how much sympathy we have for the residents of Young's Cove? I also want to look at the existing arguments for a rate reduction and add some important distinctions to consider. First, at both meetings, it was pointed out that the universal rate applied to Battawa, Frankfurt, and Trenton was contentious, even though their operating cost differences were minor. I think it's a very different scenario to apply that logic to a plant that costs 15 times more per cubic meter to operate. Second, Stonecrest was also offered as a precedent of taking over a developer-built system, but since the city took over Stonecrest under a universal rate, records show it initially missed environmental standards more frequently than the established plants, required remediation, needed immediate retrofits because original parts were no longer available, and it continues to cost above the universal rate that ratepayers are charged. So none of these comments are critical of the residents and homeowners of these communities. Both of these developments show why we must be upfront with potential buyers about the true cost recovery mechanics of isolated infrastructure. In the cost of Young's Cove, resident statements show a clear disconnect in how this information was shared. The city already lowered the considered rate once, which put the system into an operating deficit. Removing the surcharge entirely creates a permanent funding imbalance of hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. We do not need a universal rate solely for billing efficiency, but the city already manages over 30 unique property tax structures for residential, commercial, and agricultural properties. So the logic of applying a universal rate for wastewater doesn't hold water, I guess is how I would say that. I attended the public meeting where utility rate increases were presented. I heard that 10 straight years of annual utility rate increases were meant to make our system more self-sustaining and more reliable, not less. So let's protect the entire ratepayer base and hold the developer to the agreement if those allegations are true, and let the decision stand. Thank you.
Input. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Coming, one's coming.
Pardon?
Right at the back, right at the back.
Oh, come on up. Sorry. Can't see. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor and Council, 4 weeks ago, Heather did the presentation for the Young's Cove. I'm sorry, my name is Bettina Matamaya, and I wrote that letter. And 4 weeks ago, we stood in front of this council to talk about all the issues with this development and how we represented. 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity to meet with CAO Angelo and his staff to discuss further information, to ask questions, they clarified for us. There was no backroom deal. as being posted in social media between Prince Edward Estates and the city of Quinte West. I have to tell you, 2 weeks ago, about at this time, I was being wheeled out of recovery to ICU after 4 hours of brain surgery. This is the increase that would be done. We have double-checked. It represents 41 cents a month for the rest of Quinte West, as opposed to us paying over $600 a year in difference for a system that none of us knew about, and yet we're still being told that we knew, that we were aware.
Take your time.
I didn't come here to have a fight. And I will not respond to social media because the people who are talking about us as if we were pariahs, as if we were being subsidized by everybody else, is the reason why social media should be banned, as far as I'm concerned, not just for children under 16. I did not expect to be here again today, not after the presentation that we gave. I am barely hanging on here, and I'm not asking for pity, but I'm asking for equality, for something we all pay for schooling, whether we have children or not. We all pay property taxes based on the sizes of our homes and our properties, the location. We're not asking for anything except for equal treatment as far as the wastewater is concerned, especially since it was done in such a deceptive manner. We're not even asking for a refund for all the time that we have been paying these exorbitant fees. We're just asking for a 41-cent increase for everybody instead of us paying over $50 a month every month.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I definitely agree. There have been no backroom deals done by anybody.
It is
None.
slanderous.
None whatsoever.
It is absolutely slanderous.
Well, don't
and
pay
it
attention to
undermines
it
the city
because
as a whole.
we're not part of it. I'm not part of it
I
either.
know, and I'm just asking you to please reconsider that decision that you made back in March.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else? Okay, we'll be here. Expect to be here.
What's going on?
Thank you. My name's Heather Cahoon. I was the one that made the delegation to council, and I want to support the comments that Bettina just made, but in addition, I wanted to mention about the fact that the staff report that was put through formally, Youngs Cove property owners didn't even know about it. So I would like to respectfully say that we need to rely upon the people who know the operating budgets, know what will be beneficial to the municipality, but also what is fair treatment to the residents of Quinte West. So I'd like to think that you will support that recommendation that has been put forward by your staff. And I thank you again for your time and your consideration, your worship, and council. Thank you.
Else for public input? Come on up, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of Council. I'm Ruth Estwick, CEO for the Quinte Home Builders Association, representing approximately 170 member companies across the residential construction industry in the region. I'm here today on behalf of our members to express our strong support for the City of Quinte West proceeding with a meaningful application to the Development Charges Reduction Program. I want to begin by addressing what we believe is a central question before Council. We don't believe this is a vote on developers or a vote on builder profits, and this is not a vote on whether every future home price can be reduced by the exact amount of a development charge reduction. The decision before Council is much bigger than that. We believe that it is about whether Quinte West wants to seize an opportunity to secure infrastructure funding, support housing construction, create jobs, and strengthen our local economy. That is what this program is about. Respectfully, we want to talk about how housing markets works. Cost influences supply, And when costs come down, more projects become viable. When more projects become viable, more homes get built. When more homes get built, competition increases. When competition increases, affordability improves. That is exactly why the federal government and the provincial governments came together to create this program. They recognize that development charges have become part of the significant barriers to housing construction across Ontario, and that municipalities need support to fund the infrastructure required to grow. That is why both levels of government are prepared to invest. This is not simply the position of the development industry. Independent research has demonstrated that reducing development charges improves project viability and increases housing supply. More viable projects means more housing starts. More housing starts means more homes for families. That is the outcome we should all be working for today. I would also encourage Council to view this through the lens of economic development. Every new home creates economic activity. It supports local trades and related services, manufacturers and suppliers, real estate professionals, financial institutions, insurance providers, local retailers such as appliances and furniture and other household goods, thousands of jobs housing supports. It also supports municipal assessment growth. Housing is one of the most significant economic drivers in any community. When we talk about housing, we're talking about much more than construction. We're talking about economic growth, workforce attraction, and the future competitiveness of this community. The reality is that Quinte West has worked very hard to position itself as a community that welcomes investment and growth. Quinte West has demonstrated leadership on housing in working proactively on issues that impact housing with the QHBA through our roundtable discussions, as well as through the former DC deferral bylaw in place for almost 10 years. Staff have worked diligently to support building activity, and this development charges reduction program provides another opportunity to build on that momentum. The cost of applying is minimal, the opportunity is significant, and the risk of doing nothing is that other municipalities will move forward while Quinte West stands still. Today is not about developers, today is about housing, and today is about infrastructure. Today is also about ensuring Quinte West remains competitive as communities across Ontario pursue opportunities just like this one. On behalf of the QHBA and our members, I respectfully ask Council to support the City's application to the Development Charges Reduction Program. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm going to ask John Van Heusen to come up and speak.
Thank you very much. We'll be coming to this. I don't know, does the council want to ask any questions of Ruth at this time, or wait until we come to okay. We'll come to the, in our agenda, and we'll maybe call you back, okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Your Worship and Council. My name is John Van Heusen. You've probably seen me here before talking about development charges. I'm currently serving as the past president of the QHBA, and I'm here to give you a little bit more of the comments that we have as the group of builders and developers and all the related trades, and the positive support that we have for staff's proposal here. But I also want to kind of point out that we have been working together with staff to kind of formulate these ideas and to realize that this is an opportunity that we do all need to take advantage of. Again, it's just an application at this point. A lot of the concerns we heard at the City of Belleville about implementing this are, you know, if we give you this break, are you just going to pocket this, or is this going to be a real savings that's passed on to individuals? It's a little bit of a loaded question because obviously the market kind of dictates in the end the prices, but if you've been following the market, very little has been being sold of late. We've got a lot of inventory in the ground, and when we put a house in the ground, the development charge that goes in at that point that we make the application stays, so any of this discount won't apply to those. So it will take some time to get through inventory before you see the effect of the price. But most of us, we work on our inputs. We figure what all of those are. It's why it's so important to us to control the inputs wherever possible to make them as low as possible so that we can continue to build at a lower rate. And accessing this funding is an intent to kickstart. It's 3 years. If you're successful of it, you know, you lower your DC charge for 3 years, and then you recoup the costs through the province and the feds over 10 years. So it's really not a loss. And it gives us the opportunity to kickstart the industry, because right now the industry is extremely slow. And like we said, when we went through the development chargeback study, all our inputs continue to increase. They still continue to increase, except for things like lumber, which we've passed on. And through the negotiation with our sub-trades, with the purchase of land, all of those items have been renegotiated, and you've seen a significant decrease in the average price per house. Of note, the HST relief is going to have a major impact. The problem we have is that the legislation on the federal level has not been passed yet. So technically, we can't offer that as an input tax credit. So people would have to buy it, pay the full HST, and then apply for the rebate afterwards. So it's only available to a few people that can afford it. I think once the legislation passes, it's going to have a really big impact. And you add this to it, you're talking over $100,000 a home that will be able to adjust the price pretty much instantaneously. So we support it. We really appreciate staff's input on it and inviting us to participate in it, to supply with some numbers in terms of what this means for a kickstart to housing construction in the region. And yeah, we just think it's a good idea to pass this.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your information. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else? No? Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll keep going. Okay, first resolution by Matt Hodge, Manager of Finance, Deputy Treasurer, regarding Prince Edward Estates wastewater monthly base charge be received, and that council direct that wastewater services to properties in the Prince Edward Estates subdivision be charged in accordance with bylaw 24-131, effective August 1st, 26, thereby eliminating the separate rate structure previously applied to this subdivision. Councillor McHugh.
I will move the motion.
Move it. Second.
I'll second it.
Councillor Elliott seconds. Any comments or questions? Councillor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. The Prince Edward Estates wastewater system does have an extra step in it that the rest of the city wastewater facilities don't have, whereas the city does have to come to these properties and clear out the basin that's down by the roadway in order to keep the system working efficiently. So there is an extra step, and which does translate into extra costs. I do agree that I would like to see a gradual reduction in their rate to have it come closer, but I would like to see it based on the number of homes. So right now, in their staff report, there's 175 homes connected to the system, and we're hoping to have 301 once the development is completed. And I would much prefer that there'd be a gradual reduction to the rate. And also, in the staff report, it doesn't reflect the fact that this system does have an extra step, and there's no information regarding costs other than the bottom line cost. So does the facility itself, when the material gets to the facility, what's the cost for that, and what's the cost for the extra step where the city has to go to clean out these basins that are down by the road surface? Do we have a breakdown for that?
I'll ask Director Matt Stacy to answer that. Public Works, please.
Through your worship, the numbers we have in front of you are a combined number. I do not have that number broken out at this time.
Because that comes into my decision on this. Because of that extra step, there is an extra cost. And I would prefer to then defer this decision until I can get that information. And I would also appreciate it if there was like a scale where we could have, say, when the subdivision gets to 200 homes, then gets to 250 homes, and then finally the 300 homes. And so is there a way, well, I guess there could be a way that we would have the base rate for what's at the plant itself be the same as all the other facilities in the city, but somehow factor in this extra step so that the citizens living in Prince Edward Estates can see that, all right, well, our plant is being costed out the same as all the other facilities, but because we have this extra step, then that's what we're seeing as our as a reason why we have this increased rate.
Can I ask you to hold your deferral till we get some more information right now? if I
Yeah,
can?
sure. Yeah, I'm all ears. I want
Okay,
everybody to
thank
talk
you.
about everything, but
Thank you.
there's my point of view is that extra step.
Okay. Councillor O'Neill, and then I'm going to go to.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wish to express my concerns regarding this proposed elimination of separate rate structure for this development. The approved subdivision agreement explicitly require this development to be financially self-funded through a site-specific elevated monthly rate because it is served by a dedicated treatment plant. I believe we must carefully consider whether it is appropriate for the city to cover the estimated annual shortfall of nearly $200,000 a year. Doing so would effectively subsidize each of the 175 residential units by over $1,100 a year. As councillors, we must ensure we are making the best financial decisions for all Quinte West residents and adhering to our established agreements.
Matt, do you have any further information available at this time on the rate structure, or?
Through you, Mayor. The rate structure does have built-in prior limits on when there's a certain amount of houses, then the rate would come down. This proposal is just to eliminate that step and just merge it in with all of our current rates.
Okay, thank you. Caleb, do you have anything else, or will it, no? Okay, I'll go. Councillor Elliott.
Just a clarification for Councillor Quinte. You're talking about a collection point. I think the point is that the difference between it and Stonecrest, there are collection tanks at each house. The only thing that goes to the plant compared to Stonecrest is there's no solids goes to the plant unless it leaks by, I guess you'd say. So in a sense, every 2 or 3 years, I presume those collection tanks would have to be cleaned. But I would think the operational cost of the plant without the solids going like Stonecrest is, which we had to, and I would like a report from Mr. Hodge, how much that cost after we assumed that, and the ratepayers of all the rates paid for that update on that, in fairness to these folks. Because while they are opposite and different, there's other operational things in regards to that plant, and maybe Mr. Tracy can correct me on the operation of the plant. There's really no solids go to that plant. It is the gray water, and the same as what your septic bed would absorb if you had a septic bed. So I don't know whether you want to get into that, Mr. Tracy, but I know that the operational is a little different, but in a sense, the end result is the same, other than the way the plants operate.
Through your worship, no, that is correct. The clarifier tanks operate very similar to a septic tank in a private rural residence. The tanks, we have them pumped on a 3-year basis. So that, yes, the other municipal facilities do not have those. So yes, you're correct that the gray water or clarified water is what the treatment plant in Prince Edward Estates is treating. Both facilities, Stonecrest and Prince Edward Estates, have a very high level of treatment required. Just to answer Councillor Quinte's first question about cost, just run some quick numbers here. It's about $15,000 a year to clean out the the clarifier tanks of the existing homes, 175. They're on a 3-year schedule, so on average it would be about $15,000 per year is the cost for cleaning those.
So, and you're talking about the system with the membranes in it, or the one without?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Prince Edward Estates and with the clarifier tanks. So yeah, we clean those out on a 3-year cycle.
Okay.
Similar,
okay.
And that's
all right.
That's about $15,000 per year to answer
Councillor
Quinte.
Yeah, thank you, Worship. Yeah, one other aspect to this, and I appreciate Councillor Quinte bringing up that the tearing it down. the number of houses, but they've run into a bit of a roadblock. It's no fault of these people. I am understanding the government has put a hold on about 65 of these future lots. They will be built on eventually. I think the last 4 years have been tied up in some type of negotiations or looking into the Indian Act or something to do with this land is being held up. That's no fault of these folks here that they, possibly those 60 houses might have been built and sold by now, but they can't control that. So the idea of bringing it down as houses built, who knows when the end date's going to be.
Clarification on that, it was not the government that froze that. It's Lower Trent Conservation on Phase 3. And they have to do a compensation, I'll put it this way, because of the realignment of a road, and Mrs. Reed, I think we've dealt with it, we both said on Lower Trent, and this has been going on for the last 2 or 3 years. They tried to look for the realignment of a street there because they say it's encroaching on a unevaluated wetland, which I've lived beside it for 80-plus years, and I kind of question their wisdom, but anyway, we won't go there. But anyway, what has happened, they said they could not find another part on that Phase 3 for the so-called compensation. And so what they've done, they allowed them to do the compensation up on Brighton Bay where there is land been left to the Canadian Conservancy. And so where it's got at now, the developer had to put X number of dollars in an escrow account, and then what they've come up with for the percentage of elevation they got to do, it had come up at the last minute that they have to do an indigenous study of the property that they're going to redo up there. So that's what it's being held back at. I can tell you the last time I inquired on it, and it started well over 2 years ago, I was told that it could be 6 months of a start or 2 years plus. And I can tell you that Phase 3 is slowly growing up to trees, and by the time they get I guess a decision on it, they're liable to say it's a forest, and they won't want it to have it grubbed out. It's really was unnecessary. They could have added to the other side of the so-called finger of trees that they consider an unevaluated land, but there was no one prepared to listen, and it would have made more common sense to do that. And Phase 3 would have went ahead before the Phase 4 and 5 they're building into now. So that's where that was. It was not the government did it. It was Lower Trent Conservation.
And we both know Lower Trent Conservation doesn't have any money to compensate anyone. So they should not be a roadblock. Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Kutsovas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A question to the residents. They continue to mention that the builder deceived them. Have they filed a class action suit against the builder collectively? No one has.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just for clarification, I know that Councilor O'Neill said this would impact the other wastewater users by $1,400 per year. Yeah, I thought it was about 41 cents per month. Could you clarify this, Matt? How much is the impact on all the other users?
Point of clarification, my was on the 175 houses. To cover a shortfall of $200,000 would be at $1,100 per household for that subdivision.
Okay, my apologies, Councilor O'Neill. I just wanted to get okay, so. Could you speak further, though, to that, Matt?
Thank you.
Thank
Matt,
you.
anything to add?
Through your mayor. Yes, in the report, since this is less than a 1% difference, we have no plans to open up the rate study or adjust the wastewater rates due to this change. So there would be no change to the wastewater rates. If we did open it and put through, it would be yes, as the resident said, less than a 1%, which is 41 cents a month.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. Councilor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. 2 points. One, next February, Lower Trent Conservation will be amalgamated into a greater conservation authority. So there might be an extra 50 cents or so somewhere to move that decision forward. I don't know. Nobody knows, but that's for next February. The other point is the waste material that's collected from these clarifier tanks, that is then, I'm guessing, taken to the Trenton wastewater plant for treatment there,
Yes.
which all of
Yes.
which all of the rest of the city maintains that plant.
Yeah,
Mr. Tracy.
through your worship, yes, that's correct. The clarifier tanks are taken for further treatment through the Trenton wastewater treatment plant and then spread with the biosolids
So,
disposal program for
just
the entire city.
further to that question, what's our charge for that to their system? Do we charge for the dumps, per dump, or what do we do?
Through your through your worship. Yeah. That we do not have a special transfer for that at this time, so.
Not
Well, like
yet.
most of us live in the rural area, so I have a septic tank and I have it pumped. And when he pumps it, he's got to dump it someplace. My wife wouldn't let him dump it in the yard, I know that. So, well, I have to pay for that dump, right?
Yes, you get your septic tank hauled through a private hauler, and they have the option to take it to their own facility, which is land application in a lot of cases, or wintertime, they do pay and bring it to the Trenton system.
So, can I follow up?
Councillor Stedall, then I'll go to Councillor.
So just to clarify some numbers, so first of all, just talking about social media, I know there was a comment about the $40 a month. There was a talking about that being the water bill, which is, we're just talking sewer, we're just talking wastewater, so the $40 is just a portion of that. I just needed that to be clarified. But, so what I'm hearing is that if we approve this, there will be no change in the rate structures for the rest of the residents in the city. They'll still pay the same water and sewer. We're not going to change the $200,000 difference, can be picked up within the water, or within, sorry, the sewer portion of the bill. And then just to clarify, will we be looking at this again in February when we do the next budget?
Through you, Mayor. No, there's no plan in February to reopen the water wastewater rate study. We would do it every 5 years, so we do have a couple more years before we would reopen it. And mostly we're looking at what the reserve balance looks like, and so far the reserve balance is trending okay. So we don't have any plans to reopen it. There's no big cost change that we need to reopen it for either.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anyone else? Councillor Kusin, go ahead.
So, Mr. Mayor, I can't support the recommendation as it's showing there now, which is why I asked for the deferral, because I know there's an extra step in the process, and I wanted to see the costing out difference. If there was a way that we could have that set up, but I want to see some numbers first before voting on it. What the extra step is, and I think that the people in Prince Edward Estates, yes, they should pay for the extra step, but then the rest of the system should match in. Because you, Mr. Mayor, yourself, and Councillor Allier, you probably remember like 15, 17 years ago, the city of Quinte West did take all of the facilities, the water facilities, and amalgamated the rates, and we did the same thing with all the wastewater facilities, because when Quinte West first got started, everybody was paying all kinds of different rates for the systems, and we mushed it all together. And we should do that here as well, but I need to see it go in a step-by-step process, so that's why I asked for the deferral and asked staff to give us some more information.
Okay, so he's asking for a deferral. I need a seconder for the deferral. Yes, seconder. We have a seconder?
Motion on the floor.
No motion unless I got a seconder.
There's no any motion on the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about, okay, all right. Okay, Councillor Neal, what are you talking about the motion we got on, go ahead. Are you ready to vote?
I'm ready to vote, and I'd like a recorded vote.
Okay, thank you. Well, we need to, Mr. Clerk, can you read the motion that's on the floor so everybody knows? Pardon? Okay.
Before we vote, can the rest of us make a comment? Thank you, Your Worship. And I've struggled both ways on this, and I certainly understand that we can absorb the 41 cents between the rest of us, but I mean, is that something that we should be doing? And at the end of the day, I really have difficulty absorbing it. I believe that, yes, we have the reserves, but I mean, those reserves are meant for other things. And I understand the predicament that the group is in, and I know when you buy a house and you have a lawyer, and the lawyer looks at the agreements, and I'm not sure if your lawyers had mentioned anything to you about these things or not, but I think it's and I certainly sympathize with you and the issue with the developer, and I hope you take task and hold the developer to this, but I've got to look at the whole community, and I think the current resolution, I just simply cannot support.
Thank you. Mr. Trey, one of you two got a comment regarding the No? Okay. Mr. Clerk? You want to read, are we ready to vote on the motion? I guess.
Questions here.
Okay, more questions. Who's next? Okay.
Thank you, through the mayor. I would just like to echo Councillor O'Neill's concern in regards to the contract we have in place with this development, and we're not following it. We're stepping over it. I do understand what the people are saying, and it's unfortunate they were misled by their builder. But I think we need to follow the contracts that we enter into. And the 41 cents I get is only 41 cents per household, but it is $200,000 over the big picture out of the reserves, which again is there for a purpose, the reserves, not to cover extra costs that we're taking on at a time when the contracts we have, we're not supposed to take that on. So if it's a step-in process, and then we're due to do a part of that step-in, to Councillor Quinte's comment, it should be stepping, not just waiving everything. I could probably support what the contracts are saying, but I can't support just waiving the whole thing and using reserves to cover that we're changing the contracts that we're in. So that's my stance on the situation. Thank you.
Councillor Katsoulis?
Also, just something for consideration after hearing Mr. Hodges' comments. If the rate studies are to be reevaluated in a couple of years, at that time, Prince Edward Estates could have, who knows, 10, 50 more homes built. At that time, there'd be a better indication of if there is to be a rate reduction, what that would be at that time, because the new homes would be reflective of that when the water rates get re-examined. So similar to my other colleagues' comments, I'm sympathetic with the residents, but legal action would be my advice to them, to the builder.
Okay. Councillor Carson?
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I share the recent comments, Councillor Boyce, Councillor Roseblade. This is obviously a very difficult issue, and I think it is fair for the residents to come forward and bring this issue forward. I've very mixed feelings on this. The feedback from the community, I think from the folks that I've received, is that they feel like it's the tax base or the water ratepayer base kind of fixing the mistake of the developer, or softening that financially. And there has been moderate feedback, and there has been people paying attention to this in the community, and it is unfortunate. This is there are no good options here. Yes, it is a small amount of money on the bill, but what I'm hearing from folks is the principle of it, unfortunately. So, yeah, I would echo the previous comments too.
Coming this way. Anybody else? Any other comments? Any other questions? Councillor Sharp?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am going to support the motion. I know we're back at this, and I'm reversing the original one, and staff did a secondary report. The recommendation is the same as the first, which I'd voted against. We asked for additional information. I don't think there's a lot more information except that we've heard what the impact it is on the other users and ratepayers. And it looks like that would be, nothing's negligible, but there wouldn't be any change to the rates except for this $200,000, which is the reserve for other uses. Now, we've had as a city many things that we've had to address using our capital funds and reserves that have impacted various neighborhoods or challenges that we face. So I'm going to support this because in the end, it's nice to see equity throughout the city. And there are times we have to go into reserves that impact maybe a portion of the city and not all of the city, but to the greater benefit. So I will be supporting the recommendation as written by staff in this report, and that is why. Thank you.
Okay, anything else to add from staff? Anyone, anything else from staff? Remember when we had the water leak under the river? And we had to replace, repair and put a pipe inside the pipe? And that was plus 600,000. How did we pay for that? Anybody remember?
Through your worship, that was utilizing the water reserves that that the city had access to.
Okay, thank you.
There's a question here, a question here.
Councillor Stedlow, go ahead.
I guess I'm struggling with this because I agree that there should be equity in the rates, and I think that we did achieve that back over the years in amalgamation, and I know we've changed it. I know the rates that I pay where I live increased significantly once we did the amalgamation, so I have, had to subsidize other communities that had much higher rates. But I guess my struggle really is back to when we went and did the rate study a year ago, and now it's okay to add an extra $200,000 in, keep the rates the same. Were the rates too high at the time? So I think listening to the councillors around the table is that I think I would be more supportive if there was just additional work done about this incremental, doing it in phases, bringing it back in. But it sounds to me, I don't understand either how come this got missed when we did that study. Like, obviously, we talked about everything to do with the water rates, and we had a study that was that thick. We went through it for a number of months. So how did this get missed? And I know it's a separate contract, and I also agree with my fellow councillors that there should be some litigation with the developer, because obviously if there was some miscommunication, your lawyer should have given you that information, and a class action suit, by all means, that sounds the correct way to go, rather than having the rest of the city having to do this. But I guess I would ask that we, in the future, that instead of it being a 5-year review, I think we need to do that review a little sooner if we're going to be bringing this in, and if maybe there's some other pockets in the community and other contracts that we have. So instead of waiting 5 years for this review, I think we may need to do it sooner. There's huge increases that are being felt. That was an 8% increase in the water and sewer rates that was being felt after that. And it was I think it was 3 years at 8%. It was unbelievable. And there were alternates that we could have done with rates at the time. So there's a lot of questions this whole thing brings up. So I would ask at a minimum that whatever happens tonight is that we make sure that rate study comes back and we do evaluate it again within at least 18 months.
We won't be here. Councillor Card, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Again, I think it's I know the folks in the gallery, if the rate isn't changed, probably leave feeling defeated and frustrated. I think it is very appropriate to bring this forward, the next water rate study. I think that's very appropriate. I think Councillor Stedall is correct in the larger environment that 41 cents is only 41 cents, but people are struggling right now. It's the principle of it less than the 41 cents itself, straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So I think it is appropriate, certainly, for it to come up at the next rate study, and I think that's reasonable, and I hope that you ask for that.
Okay, anything else from staff members? Director Denouden, any other comments?
Sure, I'll just, through you, Mayor, just point of clarification for the wastewater rate study. It was completed in 2024, and it's always been the intention that the Prince Edward Estates agreement would drive the analysis, the separate analysis on those rates. I also like to put it in perspective that the wastewater rate study is a study of revenue of over $25 million in annual revenue. So, 200,000 is less than 1%. And so it would be not conducive for staff to evaluate too regularly the rate study on things that, let's say, a project increases or decreases by 200,000. As you know, we have a West End trunk project of well over 20, 30 million. So these amounts, although they sound large, and they are large, we wait till collectively we have enough information, whether it's grants, projects going over under, operating going over under, over a 3 to 5 year period, and then we re-look at the overall rate structure and if it's appropriate.
Yeah, just further, has the West End project reached over 30 million, or am I thinking something? Am I thinking, it's over 30 million, is it? Yeah, that's what, okay, thank you. Okay, anything else? Do you want to, what's your, I left you in limbo there because you wanted to defer.
No, we didn't get a second.
Yeah, well,
Didn't get a second here.
okay, but
Vote on the first motion.
I know, okay. All right, read the first motion, Mr. Clerk.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to council, the motion on the floor is that the report be received and that council directs that wastewater services to properties in the Prince Edward Estates subdivision be charged in accordance with bylaw 24-131, effective August 1st, 2026, thereby eliminating the separate rate structure previously applied to this subdivision.
Okay. And we've been asked for a recorded vote. So
Yes.
Any comments on before we ask for a vote? I want to make sure everybody's had the chance to say what's on your mind. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead with the recorded vote.
Councillor Ellier.
Yes.
Councillor Armstrong.
You can't hear you, sorry.
He's a no.
Can't hear you. Hold your hand up if it's
No.
a yeah. No, okay.
No.
Thank you.
Councillor Boyce.
No.
Councillor Card.
No.
Councillor Katsovas.
No.
Councillor Quinte.
No.
Councillor McHugh.
Yes.
Councillor O'Neill.
No.
Councillor Reed.
No.
Councillor Roseblade.
No.
Councillor Sharp.
Yes.
Councillor Stedall.
No.
Mayor Harrison.
Yeah, do I,
He doesn't have to vote.
You don't have to vote. Yeah.
recorded vote, I think I would say yes. Yes.
Yes. 9 yeas and 4 noes.
Wait, so
Sorry, 9 noes and 4 yeas. My apologies,
I
sorry.
think- Yeah. Oh, wow. I think you better make sure you're right. Want to read it again, please? Is that my,
We have four yeas and 9 noes.
thank you. Okay. That's 4 yeas and 9 noes. Okay. So the motion is lost.
Yep.
Motion is lost. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for being here, and that's the decision of this council at this time, so. Okay, all right. Anybody else for public input?
No, this ain't public input.
No, we've already done.
Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, we're at the one with the development charge. So reduction program acknowledgement be received, and that council approve an agreement in principle to reduce the DC by 30% or more, subject to funding approval, and that council directs city to submit an application to the province of Ontario's development charges reduction program, which includes establishing an agreement in principle.
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Lots of people.
You got lots of choices. Okay, well, we've already approved applying for the reduction.
We haven't approved
We
that.
haven't voted for it yet.
Well, okay. Go ahead. What's your question?
Thank you, Your Worship. And through you two staff, so our development charges are necessary. The city, besides property taxes, we rely on development charges. This application, and if we lower the development charges by this percentage, does the province guarantee that we will receive the funding, or is this just an application, and that if we don't receive the funding, we're essentially out $2.1 million for the next few years?
Your Worship,
no.
perhaps I can ask Mr. Hodge just to run through his report to give some more information to the councillor and answer Councillor Boyce's question as well. He's put on the screen too the list of projects that we're recommending that council endorse as part of our application.
So we're not
That's
doing the
due.
houses,
That's due by Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Go ahead.
Through you, Mayor. The application today is just to give us permission to file the application. So it's an agreement in principle. It's not locking us into anything. If we don't receive the funding, then we don't have to agree to and sign the final agreement. The development charge reduction funding is based on the municipality has to reduce their DC that is in place in March by at least 30%. And the funding that we can apply for needs to be tied to projects that start before 2030 and finish before 2035. So this list in front of you is the list of projects that are currently in our DC that was in place in March that meet the criteria. The dollar limit is based on our projections of revenues lost over the 3-year period that the funding would replace. Based on growth, if the DC is reduced 100%, which is what the application that we would submit would be based on, we would tie it to, if we get project A approved only, then we would only reduce it 30%. So we're trying to tie it to, our reduction would be tied to how much funding gets approved. But all the final agreements would come after we receive feedback from the province and the federal government on what we will receive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Anybody? Councillor? Sorry. Which one? Councillor Stedall. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so, sorry, I have lots of questions on this one. I agree that, you know, the government is trying to assist us to try to get the price of housing down, and that's why they put this in place, to cut the development charges. I'm not sure that that's actually, as was indicated with the, you know, presentation, is that it's not going to happen immediately. So if we start cutting these DC rates, that doesn't mean the price of houses is coming down by that amount. It takes some time for all of this to come forward. And I guess with the rates that I'm seeing here, and thank you very much for the follow-up to give, because the original report didn't indicate which projects, and I understand that staff has really been working to try and nail this down, because the government announced it June 1st, that you have to make application by June 19th, which is like, you know, substantial challenge to be able to figure that out. And these projects, so my understanding is that this is just the residential rates, that's not affecting commercial and industrial. And when you're talking, you say like number 5, 100%. That's not 100% of the entire DC. That's just the portion of the development charge that's applicable to that particular project. So is that correct?
Through you, Mayor, yes. We can only apply for DC funds that were going to be collected through the DC funds in the current DC study. So the dollar amounts under DC portion, that is not the total project cost. That's just what was going to be paid for using development charge funds. And then the grant portion we can only apply for up to a maximum of 90% of the development charge portion of the project.
Right, so my next question then really is about the funding. So development charge studies they've been going on for a number of years, and there's lots of background as it, and it is intentionally, they're structured, those studies, for growth to pay for growth. So new development pays for new development. So when we identify the projects, we also put it on a cash basis, so we know exactly when we're going to be paying for this stuff. So we know that we're going to pay for it in year 5, and there's going to be, we're going to levy debt, or we're going to do whatever. And if these projects are all pushed forward, and now we have to do them because we get into this agreement, then has there been enough time to consider how we pay for our 10%? Because if we increase our debt load, that's going to increase our taxes. We've already seen that, and we know that we're challenged every year that we do our taxes, our property taxes, we set them, is that all of the projects that have been done in the past, because of the amount of debt that we have, that has caused our property taxes to increase. So my question really is that if we get approved, will there be more consideration or more information brought back so that we could actually approve each of these individual projects when we see the exact detail and the effect on our property taxes at that time?
Through you, Mayor, most of these projects are water wastewater, so there would be the tax effect would not be an increase in taxes. We already fund most development charge studies are 10 to 30% of the development charge collected are already exempted and have to be funded through city taxes or water wastewater rates. So this portion of our 10%, there should be no net loss to the city. We will not have the normal exemptions that we need to fund, and if we need money, there's reserve balances, but no, there's no plan to.
So just to follow up to that, that's probably not easily understood exactly where the money's coming from, and I apologize if they are all water and wastewater, and I'm talking property taxes. That's because we've just seen this information brought to us on the screen just now. But now this goes back to this now becomes part of our water and wastewater study, which we just finished talking about, to do with what the rates are. So this potentially could affect those rates then, if we have to repay it. I know what you're saying about the exemption, but I'm not sure everybody here knows about the exemption. And I guess that's why my question is, will we, when we get this put, I'm not saying stop the application, by all means go forward with it, and by all means, I know.
And that's all we're talking about.
That's all we're talking, but when the individual projects get approved, it needs to come back, because this is going to tie up future councils and future money.
Right. And
Through Your Worship, I can probably answer that. You're exactly correct. So this is just an application. If we are successful, and I hope that we are, staff will bring back a further report on timelines, on implications, all of that going forward for council to consider at that time. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Go ahead. Councilor Card, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I do wish that the funding mechanism was a bit different. This is great for us to be able to cut the DCs to spur residential housing growth. I wish that the province would just give us direct transfers rather than locking us into all these projects.
Don't we all? Yes.
I know. So it will be a vigorous discussion, I'm sure. I remember the Trenton wastewater plant expansion, some discussion before about that and projected utilization and whatnot. So anyway, I did want to call up QHBA, Ruth or John. To me, this comes down to if there's going to be demand stimulated, whether or not, if there's a X amount of dollar cut, whether 80% is passed on to the final house price or what number it is, I know that's not predictable, but with the HST reduction, I know that there's work being done at the federal level to change it so that it can be added on the front end and you don't have to qualify for the higher mortgage and then get the refund later. Are builders hearing that this is spurring demand? Because I think at the end of the day, cutting development charges in and of itself build more houses, but if there aren't buyers coming out for them, then it's kind of a, to no end. So I'd love to hear just about that, because I think if the answer is yes, then that portends to this also helping to spur demand further and really starting to get the residential construction sector rolling again.
Okay, yeah, so I'll do my best to answer your question. Currently, given the way the HST rebate has been structured in the 2 tiers of government that it has to go through, it's kind of proven to us what's happening. As we were entering our spring build and these announcements came out, numerous clients that have approached our firm and other firms are all like, well, when does this apply? And there's a lot of eagerness towards that, but everybody's waiting. They're waiting for it to be a reality. And the truth is given the level of sales that we're experiencing and how abysmal it is right now, in our attempt to try to get to where the market is currently operating, like our hard costs are our hard costs. And if houses are selling below, we can't go ahead and build because we can't build for nothing or we won't be here very long. So in an indirect way, I would say to you, all of these cumulatively, including, lumber coming back to earth, including us taking a hard look at, what our ratios are and, what the value of land is, it is having a direct impact. Some builders have taken it upon themselves to take the risk and to offer that HST rebate right now, and they are reporting increased sales. They're fairly significantly, and in the GTA you'll hear that as well. But on the whole, most lawyers and most people would say you need to wait until the regulations are passed and the legislation is passed, and then you'll feel the impact. What I really hope, and this would be a plug to the province and to the feds, is that they gave us a 12-month window. Here we are, coming up on summer break. It'll be 7 months before it's passed. We only have a few months to make it real. So I hope they extend, because I think the idea of reducing the DC rates for 3 years is a better way to spur on rather than a 4-month window to get people building. So in a roundabout way, the answer is yes, every bit helps.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to add to the information from the builders? Anyone? Come on up.
Sorry.
Thank you. I think I've met you before.
Yes, Your Worship, councillors. My name's Dave Davis. Just from our perspective out in the industry, and I know these changes, as you mentioned, you come up and you look at them and you get 1 minute to look at. None of us really have a clear understanding how it's going, but I understand that if the municipality doesn't engage in the development charge reduction, there will be no funds from the province. So that's significant, because if you don't reduce them, we're not going to have sales in the housing market. So as a result, it's a lose-lose. Lose for you, lose for us. So it's something really, I think, that needs to be looked at in a
Well, thank you for being here. I haven't seen you in a while, but I'm glad that, are you still out towards that German's Landing place?
No.
No?
Frankfurt.
Oh, just Frankfurt, that's it. That's,
On my way, Jim.
you can't go any further. You're
Just across the road.
okay.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you
that's
for your
good. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Come on up. Anybody else?
Oh.
Anyone else?
Jamie O'Shea, Doran Homes. I think this is a good way for the city to get $43 million worth of projects done for 10% of the cost. So I think it's a good opportunity for the city to get a bunch of projects done at a fraction of the cost. Who doesn't like saving money?
I've had some comments from you lately. That's a good one, though.
Let's call them
Okay.
both.
Councillor Settle.
I guess I have a quick question for the developers as well. Does it not make more sense if the government had have introduced this, that the people that are buying the house would have been able to make application directly to the province, instead of them having to go through us reducing DCs and everything? So then whatever they're doing, that's how they do the HST. That's, they, new homeowners make application to the federal government, and that's where they get their money back. If they paid a DC, then they would make application to the federal or the provincial government and get the money back directly. And that would just alleviate all of this issue that us having to figure out which project we'd apply it for and what the percentage was. Is there a problem with that?
That doesn't put any money in the city's coffers.
No, it would put
We'd
it
have to
directly into the new person buying the homes
Right, but you
pocket.
want to get the projects done, right? So
We
the
get-
only way to get the projects done is to have the money to do them.
We'd continue with our DCs, we'd still do our
I know, but
studies,
some
and
of
we'd
these
still do the.
Projects wouldn't be done for 10 years if.
Oh,
or
I
whatever,
think
right?
they were a little sooner than that. But to me, I don't know. If I'm buying a new home, I'd rather see the money in my pocket right away.
Yeah, well, I think you better have the money in the pocket before you buy the home. Don't,
Well, we have a motion on the floor.
okay. All right. Want to, okay. Can we do all in favor? Or? Carried, thank you. Okay. And providing us with your opinions and ideas. And, you know, this has got to be historic. You got Dave Davis and that other guy over here by the name of Eric Denowden. Holy smokes, and Angelo Puglisi. These guys, yeah, they've been around a long time. They've all got gray hair or no hair, I guess you'd say, right? Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. And Ruth, you keep those guys in line. You've got a tough job, Ruth. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Planning and Development Services, okay?
Move the motion.
Oh, yeah, okay, all in favor of the motion on the table? One?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, which motion are we?
Okay.
Minutes of the planning advisory.
Minutes of the Planning Advisory.
Need a mover and a seconder, please.
Okay, need a second. Counselor Elliott?
I moved it.
Oh, you moved it, Counselor Boyce seconds, okay. All in favor? Carried, thank you, okay. Next one is the, Community Services Strategic Partnerships regarding community and grant policy update we received. Council approved the update, grant policy attached as Appendix 2. Okay, moved by Councilor McHugh, seconded by Councilor Boyce. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm losing track of it. Okay, the next one is tourism. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm way down. Director Grimman, Community Service Strategic Partnerships regarding fee waiver policy update. Resolution that Director of Community Services, Director Grimman, Strategic Partnership regarding fee waiver policy update be received, and the Council approved the updated fee waiver policy attached as Appendix 2. Councilor McHugh moves, seconded. Councilor Roseblade, comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. The next one is the partnership regarding, I just did that. The Linda Lyle, Manager of Economic and Tourism, and Louisa Sorrentino, Economic Development Officer regarding Commercial and Tourism Community Improvement Plan application approval be received, and the council approved the allocation of $21,103.60 to the landmark venue 16 Marmor Street, Trenton, under the Commercial and Tourism Community Improvement Plan, and the council approved bylaw 26-077 to enter into an agreement as presented later in the agenda. Moved by Councilor Reid, seconded by, I need a seconder, Councilor Elliott. All questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. And the next one is that Director Grimman regarding Frankfurt Tourist Park transient trailer camping be received, and the council direct staff to add weekly and monthly trailer camping options at the Frankfurt Tourist Park pending approval from Parks Canada. And further, that the council direct staff to report back to council in the fall of '26 upon the conclusion of the season with an update and considerations for the 2027 season. Moved by Councillor Reid, seconded by Councillor Stedall. Any comments or questions? All
No.
in favor?
Oh.
Sorry. Somebody have a question? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. I guess I think we're, so we're at the, I'm at the correspondence then, right?
No, through you, Mr. Mayor, there's one more,
Which one am I missing?
2026-102, proposed amendments to Schedule 1 of bylaw 24-154.
Okay.
I'll move that, Mr. Mayor, for the tourist park fee.
Okay. Councillor Sharp, Councillor Reid, moved by Councillor Sharp, second by Councillor Reid. Questions or comments? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay. Now I'm at proclamations. Council proclaimed June 17th to 18th, 26th as ALS Awareness Day in the city of Quinte West. And further, the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color purple on June 17, 18 regarding pending no scheduling conflicts. Okay. Moved, seconder, somebody moved it.
Councillor Katsovas.
Mike, Councillor Katsovas, Councillor Boyce. Okay, moved and second. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Daniel Campos, Race Co-Chair, 8 Trenton Canadian Armed Forces, requesting council proclaim June 18th as 33rd Annual Surf and Turf Day in the city of Quinte West. Mover and a seconder for this one. Councillor McHugh moves, Councillor O'Neill seconds. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. That's coming up tomorrow, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, and the next resolution, council proclaimed June 20th as 2026 as World Refugee Day in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color blue on June 20th, 26, pending no scheduling conflicts. Moving a seconder for that one. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Councillor Sharp and Councillor McHugh. Moved and seconded. Questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay, the next one is the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee, National Indigenous Peoples Day in the city of Quinte West. Council proclaimed June 21st as National Indigenous Peoples Day in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color orange on June 21st, 26, pending the scheduling conflict. No scheduling. Councillor Reid, and seconded by Councillor Boyce. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Got enough to carry it, have I? Yeah. Okay, carried, thank you. Okay. Okay. Next one is, don't mind that the council proclaimed June 28th, 2026 as World Pride Day in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in multicolors on June 28th, 26, pending no scheduling conflicts. Over in a seconder. Moved by Councillor Card, seconded by Councillor Katsovas. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay, the next one, council proclaimed July 21st as International Day of Hope in the city of Quinte West. Moving to seconder for that one. Councillor Reid, Councillor McHugh. Okay. Any comments or questions? As Stephen Leacock once said, hope springs eternal within the human breast. Before I jump from the ship, I guess you say. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, correspondence, printed information. Mover in a second or receive all printed information. Councillor Sharp, Councillor Reid. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. And of course, non-printed, that's a good one. I always like that one. Any questions on the non-printed? All in favor? Okay, I'm at the confirmation. I need two for,
Nope, bylaws.
oh, sorry, bylaws.
New business and bylaws.
Okay, bylaws. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the clock. Okay, bylaws. I need a mover and a second to receive all bylaws so they can be signed as such. Councillor Boyce, Councillor Elliott. All in favor? Okay, carried. Thank you. All right, now I'm at the one that says, yeah. Confirmation. Confirmation bylaw. Give me two. Two people. Confirmation.
Nobody wants to go.
Councillor Reid and Councillor McHugh. All right, any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Two for adjournment. And thank you very much, folks, for being here and staying awake. And yeah. Have a good evening, and tomorrow is the next day called whatever. Yes, I think it's Surf and Turf is where I'm headed.